wanna show you something. Promise I've been dying to see ya. They say the grass ain't always greener. I guess what they're saying is true. In my dreams, that's where I seen her. Take my heart and take all of me, girl. Let me show you what I wanna do. I wanna spend the rest of my life with you. Are you listening, darling? Look where we started. Breaking in half, left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here? Are you listening, darling? Look where we started. Breaking in half, left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Yeah, where do we go from here? Are you listening, darling? Are you listening, darling? Are you listening, darling? Look where we started. Breaking in half, left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here?
Hello, and there we go. Let's unmute the mic. Hello and welcome back, everybody, to another live stream. So, of course, it is Tuesday, the 6th of August. And yeah, as always, we will go through the Bitcoin technical analysis. We will take a look at what's going on, what I'm currently doing, what my trades are, and yeah, anything, of course, that you guys want to take a look at as well, and any questions that you guys may have. So, of course, if you do have any questions, if you do have anything you want me to look at, please do put them into the chat, and I will be more than happy to answer any questions that you may have. But yeah, before we jump into the analysis, please make sure you smash that thumbs up button. Really helps me out, helps the channel out, and I can continue to bring this content to you guys. And then, of course, subscribe and turn that bell notification on, of course, as well, if you are new to the channel. And then we will jump into the analysis. Before we do, I just need to plug in my third monitor. 2 secs. Okay, for some reason, the HDMI was unplugged, but yeah, we are all good. I believe we are all good. So yeah, it's good to see everybody back, of course. So let's pull up the exchange and talk, first of all, talk about the trade that, of course, I am in at this moment in time. So yeah, as you guys know, if you watched the live stream yesterday, and of course for any visionary members as well, I am currently long on Bitcoin. I am in a long position. Okay, this is the long trade that I am in on Bitcoin. Okay, as you can see, in around $1,000 in a profit as of right now. So this is a fairly nice trade so far, okay, but again, we're not really anywhere close to a take profit of mine as of yet. But very, very simply, okay, we've been looking for this level for a very long time, right? We've been looking for Bitcoin to form a new low, right, for quite some time now, okay. Ever since, we formed the low here, okay, we have been looking at this scenario of a rise towards the upside for another lower high, okay, for another move down, right? You can see the analysis that I have drawn up here, okay, and this was off of the basis that we were forming the exact same pattern, okay, continuously, right? This pattern right here, where we had this bullish structure, right, which was looking really nice, really bullish, okay. Everybody's looking for all-time high, even myself, right? I'm thinking, okay, if this bullish structure continues, we can be looking for new all-time highs. However, what price does, okay, is it forms a failed auction at the high. Okay, we have lots of trap longs at the high. Price starts to pull back, forms the bearish structure, okay, and we get this big pullback. Okay, we've seen this happen 3 times now, right? Prior to this time, okay, we saw it, of course, happen twice, right? Again, here we had the bullish structure, we had the failed auction / swing failure pattern of the high, okay, where we then started to form the bearish structure and we formed the new low. We saw it once before that as well. We had the bullish structure, okay, which then we, of course, formed the failed auction of the high, which remember, of course, we shorted this. We had the short trade from here as well. I didn't take it myself, right, but some of the team did. Okay, we gave this setup away in the daily market update. Okay, so we shorted these highs. And we took full advantage of the pullback here, where, of course, what did I do? Okay, I longed each one of these lows. Okay, I longed each one of these lows, and that's exactly right what I have done right now. Okay, all I'm doing is I'm trading a pattern, okay, not a silly retail pattern, okay, like a triangle pattern, a head and shoulders pattern. I'm trading patterns that play out over time, okay, and helping me with this, okay. I'm using order flow to determine, right, when is the best time to get into a trade. What is that best trade setup, okay? And here, okay, I understood, right, that price has had this huge move down, right? At the same time, this huge move down has been a very weak move towards the downside. How do we know this? Well, if we take a look at the order flow, hopefully everything is all good because I am using the desktop version of Excel charts because for some reason, I guess I can still use it for this, but for some reason, the Excel charts on the web is playing up a little bit. But yeah, that's okay. That's okay. So, of course, right, what do we know? This move down has been very weak. How do we know this has been a weak move down? Okay, well, we can see open interest, okay, at the high of the move here, okay, was above 1.2 billion, right? Whereas open interest now, after the move has happened, okay, well, open interest is at 761 million. Okay, so we've seen a huge decrease in open interest, right? Telling us that this is money flowing out of the market, right? When money is flowing out of the market, okay, these are positions closing, right? These are positions closing. Okay, so we know on this move down, okay, that lots and millions and millions of long trades have been stopped out. How do we know this? Okay, well, we know this because this rise up was very good. How do we know this rise was very good? Because at the start of the move, right, open interest was down at 869 million, okay, but at the high of the move, open interest was, of course, at above 1.2 billion. Okay, so we know that this was a good move towards the upside. Money was flowing into the market, new positions were opening, right? This was a very bullish rise, right? We had, of course, delta increasing over time as well. So this was a very bullish move, lots of new long trades coming in. Okay, however, as price started to pull back, what did we do? We liquidated all of those long trades. Okay, how do we know? Well, we can pull up the rec setting here. Okay, and yeah, for some reason it's not really showing what it was showing yesterday because there's a bit of a glitch going on here, unfortunately. But that's okay, right? All we need to understand, okay, is that millions and millions and millions, right? And I actually specified it and it's more now, okay? It is more now. But in the time when I was saying it, okay, where was it? It was here. 466 million longs were wiped out on this move down, okay? That in itself is a huge, just an absurd amount of long trades that have been just completely obliterated from the market, right? Completely obliterated, right? So I understand right now that price is actually looking quite good for a rise towards the upside. Why? Because we've had a weak move down. What happens on a weak move down? Okay, well, we tend to see a good rise towards the upside. How do we know this? Well, we see examples all of the time. Okay, we can take a look at this example here where we had this weak move down. How do we know it was a weak move down? Well, we can see it here. Open interest, okay, was decreasing. Okay, open interest started at 1.16 billion, okay, and ended on 870 million approximately. Okay, so what we knew, okay, is that money was flowing out of the market, right? Long positions were getting wrecked. Okay, why? Because open interest is decreasing. Delta is, of course, decreasing over time, right? Because open interest is decreasing, we know this is trades closing, right? Of course, ExoChart doesn't show us that far back, right? Because it gives us so much information, okay, in such a small area. But initially, what happened, right? Price was rising, okay? And on this rise up, it was very, very bullish. How do we know it was very, very bullish? Because open interest was increasing. I would love to be able to show you this as well. So let's go on here. Because it should show us a little further back on the desktop version. However, the desktop version does use a lot of my computer capacity. And live streaming at the same time is not great for my computer, but we're making it work today, right? What can we see, right? What can we, of course, see? Well, open interest, right, was increasing over time. Okay, you can see here, as price was rising, what was happening? Open interest was increasing. So it started at 858 million approximately, and on the end of the move, open interest was once again above 1 billion, okay, at 1.14 billion. Okay, so we know that these trades here were new longs coming in. Okay, these were new longs coming in, pushing the price higher, very bullish move up. Okay, what is that followed by? That is followed by a weak move down. Why? Open interest was decreasing over time. Okay, and again, we've seen it here. Nice rise towards the upside. Okay, nice rise towards the upside. Okay, weak move down. So the expectation here, right, is if we do start to see this rise, that this is going to be a very good rise towards the upside. We're going to see lots and lots of new positions entering into the market, right? New positions entering into. I'm actually just going to force quit this. Just because I can hear my fan starting to go. So, we'll keep ExoChart desktop web, open, of course. But for some reason there is a bit of a glitch today because we have this big gap, and they of course haven't sorted it out yet. But oh well. So initially, right, what I just gone through there is one of the reasons why I've entered into the long trade, right? Because we've had a very, very weak move down. Okay, when we have a very weak move down, we tend to see a nice rise towards the upside. Okay, and it works in the opposite direction as well. If we have a weak move up, we tend to see a good strong move down. Okay, so for me, that is something that I quite like. Okay, I like that. That's what I want to see. Okay, I want to see a rubbish move down because I know that it means that price can very quickly see a rise towards the upside, right? Another reason why I've entered into the long trade, of course, is because we formed the failed auction of the newly formed range low, right? Remember the prior two long trades that I entered into, okay, which were these two. What were they entered off of? Okay, they were entered off of the exact same scenario. Okay, this long trade that I've entered into now is actually exactly the same as this prior long trade that I took, okay, from this range low here. Okay, the previous range low, right? That's where I took the failed auction from, okay, the long trade off of the failed auction. And of course, we know how that played out, of course, as well. That trade was, as all of my trades are, that trade was given to the team in the Visionary Discord here as well. That was when I told the team I was entering into the long trade. I actually entered into it live in the daily market update. Okay, and I was telling the team on the Discord as well, right, updating them that I'd entered into that long trade and I was looking for that rise up. Okay, this was the setup that we were looking at. Okay, as you can see, we saw that really, really nice rise towards the upside. This was off of a very simple failed auction of the range low, right? We had millions and millions of long trades that have been stopped out, okay? And what else? What else did we have on this here as well? There was, I believe, something as I understand that a little bit later on when I entered into the trade. Of course, we had some nice bullish CVD coming in as well. So of course, that's always nice to see. So we had some nice absorption there as well, and that's what I also noticed when I was entering into the trade, and that's what I quite liked about entering into the trade. But then again, yeah, it's just a rubbish, terrible move down. Okay, which again, we can be looking for a good and nice move up, right? Prior to that, what long trade did we take? Okay, we took, of course, the failed auction off of the previous range low all the way back here. Now, this one was a little bit different. The reason why this one was a little bit different is because we actually saw lots of short trades opening up at the low, right? We saw millions and millions of shorts opening up at the low. And yeah, I wonder if so that was on the 2nd, I believe, the 2nd of May. I wonder if I put that in the Discord. I wonder if I just put a snippet of, because it was slightly different, because the difference is, right? The difference is that with the prior long trade we took from range low and the current long trade that I've taken from range low, is that we had like, and when I say this is the long trade I'm in, okay, we had literally like next to no long trade, short trades coming in at the low, which was, yeah, for me, I'd prefer, okay, I would actually prefer to see short trades I'm opening up at the low, but okay, we don't have to see it. I'd prefer to see it, but we don't have to see it. Okay, so this was the long trade that I took. This was on the 2nd of May, of course. No, I did not. Was there a little snippet here? What time frame is that? That's the 30-minute. Okay, so that's not. Yeah, I would have explained it in the daily market update, which was here. But yeah, of course, I didn't put it in there. But yeah, of course, from what I remember, and I know this for a fact, we had millions of shorts opening up at the low here. Price formed the failed auction. We had lots of trap traders at the low. Price then, of course, started to rise because all of the shorts that were opening up on the move down, okay, had to, of course, cover. So for me, that was just, yeah, a perfect trade setup. Okay, of course, the last two that we've taken, okay, the current one and the one prior as well, slightly different, okay, because we haven't seen any shorts pretty much, okay. We've seen very minimal amounts of shorts open up at the lows. So yeah, we're not really looking for, again, you know, on the move down as well, we haven't seen many short trades open. Okay, so this, okay, is, again, like I was saying back here to the team on the Visionary Discord and the daily market updates, right? For this rise to happen, we need to see new longs coming in, and that's kind of what we need to see now, because we don't have. Going back to EXO charts, let's go take a look at the 8-hour. Okay, you can see open interest has been decreasing over time. Okay, so we know that not many short trades have been entering into the market. And let's see, right? We have 19 million shorts that opened up here. Okay, roughly. Let's have a look. We want to find, so we had 19 million up here as well. Okay, so we had about, yeah, roughly 40 million. Okay, up here at these, between like $63,600 and $66,900. So we had about 40 million there. We go back a little bit, we've got 5 million there, and then 45 million, okay, new short trades at the high up here, right? So what we would be looking for, right, is new longs coming in, right, pushing the price higher, okay, to then push it into the area of where the shorts have entered into, right? Where the shorts have entered into, okay? Of course, that is much higher, but initially, if we can push, right, if we can push price into those areas where the shorts are, okay, because we understand a lot of these shorts probably have not taken any profits off at the table. Why? Okay, because they're retail traders, they don't take profits, right? They just tend to hold their trades, okay, until they get stopped out, okay? So if we start to see lots of new longs coming in, pushing price into where those short trades are, right, we would then force those short trades to cover, meaning that they have to buy back into the market. And ultimately, that would just continue to push the price higher. So initially, that's what we want to see. But for now, okay, all we can look for is new long trades coming in to continue to push the price higher. Okay, that's what we need to look for. Now, again, we have to remember that on this rise up, again, if we do get this rise up, okay, we could still anticipate another lower high for price to then come down and form another lower low, right? We still need to be aware of this scenario, okay? Remember, I did not forget, right? I did not forget. I'd been talking about it for a very long time, right? About price forming another lower high and then coming down for another lower low. I was talking about that all of last week. Okay, I was talking about it all of the week before, right? And the week before that, I don't think I was talking about it as much, but I was still talking about it. Ever since, right, we saw the high, okay, or we saw price rising up here, all this price action up here. I was saying, okay, and it's all out there. Okay, I was saying, right, that we have to be aware of that lower high for price to come down, form another lower low. Okay, and I'm going to say the exact same thing here. I'm going to say the exact same thing here. We have to be aware if we do see this price, if we do see price move up, we still have to be aware for a possible lower high for price to then come form another lower low. Is it set in stone that we're going to see this, right? Is it 100% that we're going to see another lower low? No, of course not, right? Because what has happened 3 out of 3 of the times, right? We have formed the bullish structure, which then flipped into bearish structure, okay? But, okay, at some point, we're probably going to break this, whether it be towards the upside or towards the downside, we don't know, okay? All we can do is just trade the setups that we get presented with. But if we start to see price continue to form that bullish structure, break above, okay, those previous lower highs, right, then, of course, we can look for all-time high. As long as price remains in the bullish structure. Now, yeah, don't count me on this as being the price action, right? This is just an example, okay? So don't take my word for this price action here. This is just an example, right? But if price continues to form that bullish structure, right, again, prior to this, on this move up here, I was saying we could go to all-time high if and only if we remain in the bullish structure. If we lose the bullish structure, we go down, form another lower low. It's exactly the same for this one here. If we remain in the bullish structure, we can go to all-time high. Okay, the same thing applies here. If we remain in the bullish structure, we can go to all-time high. I want to clarify that. We can go to all-time high if we remain in the bullish structure. If we break the bullish structure, right, that's when I'm looking at this scenario here playing out for a 4th time. Okay, if we see price rising up, okay, we see price rising up, lovely bullish structure. We start to lose that bullish structure. Of course, we have like a failed auction of the high here. Okay, then this is when I'm saying, all right, it's looking more probable that we're going to come down and form another low. Okay, we've seen this 3 times now. Okay, if this continues, right, it could happen for a 4th time as well. Right, so this is something that we do need to be aware of. And this is something that I'm being extremely cautious with, of course, the long trade that I'm in now, okay? Because I understand if price continues to rise here, we come up to the mid-range. The mid-range anyway is a very good take profit point for me, right? I always advocate taking profit at the mid-range, all right? Mid-range is a very, very important level, okay? The amount of times that we've used that mid-range as resistance, okay, we've seen a big pullback. It's astonishing about how many times we just respect that mid-range. And it's not necessarily like a major level, right? It's not necessarily a major level, but I do consider it a major level, but it's not necessarily, it's just kind of like a random level, right? I know it's not a random level, but like it's like there's just nothing really to the level. But it's amazing like how many times we do see a big rejection off of that mid-range. And even like when we break above it as well, like the support that we get off of the level is just amazing. Of course, then we've got the breakdown here. So the mid-range for me is always just a take profit point. Is always just a take profit point for me, right? So if we do see price coming up here, mid-range, that's a perfect take profit point for me. I was also looking at the fixed range as well of the entire move. Okay, value area low here is a very good take profit point, okay, because we understand what happened this time here. Was it here? Yeah, I believe it was here. So we actually lost. Let me just refresh my brain a little bit. I believe, yes, it was here. So what happened, okay? What happened here? We lost the value area low. We back tested it as resistance, okay? This is where lots of people probably would have longed, okay? We saw price coming up, okay? We back tested it as resistance, and then we saw the further drop towards the downside, right? So we know value area low, okay, is resistance as well. So I will also be probably looking for a take profit point at that value area low as well. But yeah, those are kind of where I'm targeting. Targeting the take profit points for the long trade, of course. But right, again, we have to remember: is price going to come into resistance up here? Right? Are we going to form some sort of failed auction pattern? Okay, we have this POC up here, possibly there. We probably have some naked point of controls at that level. Yes, we've got some naked point of controls up there. Right, so we have a lot of resistance up there above us. And again, we could see the possibility of price coming down again. So on this move up, yes, right, I'm bullish. Yes, I'm looking for price to continue higher. Okay. But if we start to show some signs of weakness, I'm going to continue to do what I have been doing, right, which is to short the high. Okay. Like I've did each one of these three peaks here. Apart from this one, right? Of course, I missed that trade, but I did give that in the daily market update. But the three peaks there, shorted, okay, and then of course the longs from the three lows as well, right? I'm going to continue to do that if this continues to play out, right? Why not? It is working, right? It's working. It's continuing to work at this moment in time. So why would I not continue to trade that, right? Again, I say this a lot. Right? If you have something that works, just rinse and repeat it, right? If you have something that works, rinse and repeat it. Do not change a thing. Do not change a single thing, right? I used the example, okay, and I wish I knew which stream it was. I wish I saved it, but I went through all of the short trades that I took from this move up here, right? It was swing failure pattern of all-time high after swing failure pattern of all-time high after swing failure pattern of all-time high. Happened 6 times. I shorted it 6 times. 6 out of the 6 of the trades were profitable, right? I'm not here to show off or anything. I'm just trying to prove to you, right, that if you have something that works, right, you need to continue to rinse and repeat it, because if it works, why change anything? Right? Why change anything, right? And then I got into the final short from the all-time high, and I don't have it open anymore. Okay, I fully closed that now, but I shorted literally the all-time high, because what was I doing? I was shorting swing failure pattern after swing failure pattern after swing failure pattern, and I was waiting to hit a loss, right? I was waiting to hit a loss. I was like, right, this can't continue. I'm going to take a loss at some point. But of course, I shorted it, and then we never saw all-time high again. Okay, so that was, that is a rare scenario, okay, that just played out really, really well for me. That was a very rare scenario, right? 6 winning trades, like in a row off of the exact same setup, pretty much in the same week. Okay, very, 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 very uncommon thing to see. Okay, but it worked. Again, it's just proof of rinse and repeat what works. Okay, and again, I can now use this as an example, right? Short, long, short, long, short, long. Rinse and repeat what works, okay? That's all I'm doing, okay? I'm simplifying it for myself, right? I understand it's difficult. I understand, trading isn't like, I don't consider it very visibly and not physically, but when I say taking, it's easy, right? It's easy to look at things, right? It's easy to follow things. Of course, the hard part within trading is the emotional side of things. Okay, but if you can simplify it for yourself, and of course have the proper risk management in place, right, you can make it very easy for yourself. That's what I like to do for myself. I like to make it very, very simple. Okay, very easy. Okay, taking as much risk out as possible. Okay, whilst also keeping my emotions out of my trades as well. Okay, and for me, it's literally rinsing and repeating what works. Okay. it sounds simple. I know it is very hard to implement. I understand that, but once you get to that level, you'll understand. You'll be like, oh, like, why haven't I realized it's that easy previously? But it takes time to get to that point. And again, like I was saying yesterday, right? This long trade may not play out, right? This long trade may not play out. We may take a loss here. Okay, but what you have to remember is that I've shorted this, I've longed this, I've shorted this, and I've longed this, right? And of course, we had the short trade from here. I didn't take. Okay, but we had the short trade from there. So, I've taken these trades, right? 4 of them, okay, have been very, very profitable. If I take one loss, it's not going to negatively affect me, right? Because my risk management is in check. Okay, in comparison to the profits that I've made here, it is only going to be a very, very small loss. Okay, and it's only going to take away from the profits that I've made. It's not going to dent my account. Okay, so again, it's just rinse and repeat what works. Make sure that your risk management is in check. Okay, and again, going back to it, you need to have that strategy that works as well. Okay, if you don't have a strategy that works, of course, it's going to be impossible for you to become a profitable trader, consistently profitable trader, even if your risk management is in check and even if your emotions are left out of it. Okay, of course, that is another big thing as well. You do need to have the profitable strategy. And I mean, as long as your risk management's in check and everything, your emotions are in check and everything else is in check, you can have a strategy which is, a 50 has a win rate of 50%. Personally, for me, I like to look for much higher win rates. Okay. That's just how I personally like to look for it. I like to look for the highest probability trade setups. Okay, but again, you can have a win rate of 50% as long as your risk management and emotions are in check as well. But yeah, the where I'm at right now is like patience. Okay, I've entered into the trade. Okay, I understand that I've taken pretty much the exact same trade twice before. Okay, and we're just going to remain patient and wait for it to play out, right? Again, I'm in a position where this won't negatively affect me if I do get stopped out. Okay, but right from statistics, from probabilities, right, it looks as though this is going to play out, right? Has it got 100% success rate? No, of course not, right? I could get stopped out here. It's not certain. It's not set in stone that this trade is going to be profitable. But again, right, probabilities, statistics-wise, say that we can continue higher here, right? So we'll have to see. We have to remain patient, and we have to, wait and see how this plays out. I'm just going to pull the chat up as well because it's telling me that there is a comment that has come in. Okay. Shubham, I'm not going to try and pronounce the second name. Hello. How are you, my friend? I believe I've seen you in the comments of one of the videos before, but I don't believe I've seen you in the live chat. So yeah, good to see you here, my friend. Mr. FFS, what a nightmare. Still love the name. Good to see you back, my friend. Good to see you back. I know you don't believe in triangles, but this is a classic example of a bull flag. And I mean, like, yeah, it's not that I don't believe in like triangles and I don't believe in bull flags, right? It's like, it's more of the fact that I just don't trade them. Maybe I haven't expressed that properly. Like it's more the fact that I just don't trade them because I do look at them, right? We went through the example. I can't remember when it was now, but I've been through this example quite a few times where, I was looking at a triangle pattern all the way back here. Okay, I was looking at this triangle pattern here. Did I long this? Did I long the breakout? Okay, no. Okay, I actually shorted the breakout because I understood, right, that there were millions, okay, from what I can remember, like 79 million new long trades opened up here, right? Price formed the failed auction of this high here. We started to pull back. Okay, I shorted this. Then, of course, what did we do? We formed the fake out of the triangle. All right. Maybe I added to the trade that I can't remember. It was quite a long time now, all the way back in April. But I know that I shorted the failed auction. Okay. And what did we do? Well, of course, we took this trade all the way down to this low. Right. So it's not like that I don't believe in them. I just don't trade them. I don't believe in. Yeah. I guess the part I don't believe in is the part where we get a break up or a breakdown, right? And we draw a target like this. Like that's kind of the thing that I just don't believe in. So yeah, just wanted to clarify, but I still do look at them, and again, like a bull flag, right? Yeah, exactly, right. That's exactly what we are in at this moment in time. That is exactly what we are in. We are in a textbook bull flag, right? But right, what have we done here? We formed the failed auction, okay, or a fake out of the low, right? We're now getting accepted back into it, right? So where a lot of people would be looking to short this, and to be perfectly honest with you, retail traders actually didn't short this, and I was quite surprised by it. And again, all the way down here as well, I was quite surprised that we did not see retail traders short it. We saw a few of them short it, but not what we would expect. Okay, mainly because the majority of them have already been wrecked on the move down here, and they were wrecked on the move down there. That's why I believe a lot of them did not actually short this breakdown. But yeah, initially we're looking at that fake out, and where a lot of people would usually be looking for a short on the breakdown, okay, I'm actually looking for a long trade on the reclaim of the level, right? And then I'm looking for higher prices, okay? And then what happens, right? That is the bull flag, of course. The low of the bull flag being taken, okay? We can then look for price to come up to the high of the bull flag, right? Where we've entered into the trade at the best possible opportunity, at the low, okay, of the range, at the low of the bull flag, right? But where will the majority of retail traders be looking to get into the trade, right? Well, the majority of retail traders will be looking to get into a trade on a breakout, okay, up here, right? Why is this wrong? Okay, why is this wrong? Well, this is wrong because the long trade was from down here. You've missed all of that move towards the upside. Okay, now you're in a position where I'm actually looking to short. Okay, you're also in a position where institutions are looking to offload. You're in a position, you're in an area where institutions and big players are also looking to take short trades as well. Okay, so for me, right, it's not necessarily that I don't believe in them, like, because we could break out here, we could see higher prices. The amount of times that actually happens statistically and on a probability basis, I haven't really done the statistics on it. I did the statistics on it a very long time ago, and it did not work out. Okay, it was just a consistently unprofitable strategy. Okay, and that's kind of why I completely boycotted trading breakouts. So it's like when the majority of the people will take the trade, okay, the majority of retail traders will take the trade is on the breakout of the bull flag. But then, right, we look back, where am I long from when they do that? Okay, I'm long from the absolute low. So I've taken advantage of all of this. If we do get the breakout and we do see a rise higher, I'm going to continue to take advantage of that, right? But okay, what we tend to see a lot of the time, right, is that price actually comes up. Okay, and this is where we possibly come into all-time high. Right, we then form the failed auction, possibly of all-time high. We have lots of trap longs at the high. Price starts to pull back. We form the fake out. Okay, and then we go lower. Okay, so this is a scenario that we just have to remain a little bit aware of as well, right? Because if we get loads and loads of long trades opening up on the breakout, on the anticipation of all-time high, okay, on the breakout of all-time high, whatever it may be, okay, and then we start to see price pulling back a little bit, those traders very, very, very quickly become emotional and become fearful. Okay, so they either exit their trade, at break even or in a slight loss. Right, what does that do? That's selling. That's a traders covering, meaning that they're selling into the market because, of course, they were in long trades. What does selling into the market do? Well, it pushes the price lower, and then it comes into any long trades that opened up lower. Okay, they do the same thing. They cover, they sell, right? They push price lower, and it's just that domino effect, right? That I talk about all of the time. It's just that domino effect, and then that's when you get that big weak move down, right? That's exactly what happened on this move down here. That's exactly what happened on this move down here, and that's exactly what happened on this move down here. Right, we see it all of the time, right? And this is, what I've been talking about as well, why I've entered into this long trade, okay? When we have a good move up, right, we tend to have a bad move down, right? Because if we do see price going down, what we're actually doing after a good move up is just completely obliterating all of the traders who did not take any profits, okay? And then, of course, it works in the vice versa as well. If we see a good move down, which this isn't, okay, but just as an example, let's pretend it's a good move down. If it was a good move down, okay, we would actually, and price started to rise, we would actually expect a rubbish move up, okay, with open interest decreasing. Why? Because the majority of the short trades that opened up here probably haven't taken profit. And what happens, okay, is we come into their entries, they have to cover, they buy back into the market and pushes the price higher. Okay, so yeah, that's how I kind of look at it, right? I don't trade the breakouts, but I still acknowledge it, right? I acknowledge, yes, we're looking at this as a very nice bull flag. It's a textbook bull flag, okay? But you know, I'm looking at it as, okay, I'm going along the low here because of so and so reasons, which I've gone through, so I won't go through again. Okay, I'm not going to long the breakout here. Why? Because I'm looking for the exact same trade that we saw down here, just in the vice versa up here. Okay, so it's like, you know, yeah, I've built the statistics up a few years ago, okay, on trading breakouts, and it didn't play out in my favor, right? So I decided to completely boycott trading breakouts. So I do not ever trade breakouts anymore. Okay, what I'm looking for, okay, is I'm looking for longs when price is pulling back. I'm looking for shorts when price is rising. If price is rising, we see a breakout. I'm actually looking for a short trade. I'm not looking for a long trade on that breakout. Fair enough. If you see this bull flag pattern, be careful on your shorts because there will be a breakout eventually. If you see this bull flag pattern, be careful on your shorts because there will be a breakout eventually. Yeah, so of course, yeah, there is going to be a breakout of this range at some point. We know that, right? That, you know, we know that price is not going to remain in this for the rest of its life. Okay, we understand that. I understand that. Okay, but you know, all I'm looking to do is I'm trying to take advantage of the price action whilst we're in here. You know, at the moment, it's been very, very successful. Okay, again, you know, we've shorted this, we've longed this, we've shorted this, we've longed this. Okay, we've shorted this, right, and now I've longed this. Okay, so I've taken a lot of trades in here. So I'm prepared for a loss. Right, I understand as a trader, I am going to take a loss at some point. Okay, so I am prepared for a loss, and I'm okay to take a loss trading this this bull flag or this this parallel channel, whatever you want to call it. I am prepared to take a loss here. Why? Because I've taken, right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, for example, I didn't take the trade, but let's say I did. Okay, because I know FR Trader on the Discord did take the trade. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so say I've taken all 6 trades here. Okay, this trade's a winner as well. Okay, I see a short trade up here. I take the short trade and it stops me out and we go higher. I'm fully okay with that, right? I'm fully okay with that. Why? Because I've taken 6 trades already. 6 of those trades have been profitable, okay? And then I've taken that 1 loss, right? Of course, that 1 loss could completely wipe out all of those successful trades if and only if your risk management is not in check. But of course, for myself, I know that my risk management is in check, okay? I know that if I take a loss here, it's only going to take minor profits away from me. Okay, it's not going to completely destroy me. Exactly like the trade I'm in here. Okay, if I take a loss where I am now and we continue lower, okay, it's only a minor loss, and it's not going to negatively affect me. Okay, it's just a small little loss. Okay, that's only going to take away from profits. So yeah, of course, I know at some point we're going to break out of this. Whether it be towards the upside, whether it be towards the downside, nobody knows. Okay, nobody knows, right? Anybody that's saying they know we're going to break up, okay, is literally just guessing. It is just a guessing game. That's how I see price predictions and all of that. I even though I do it sometimes myself, it is kind of just a guessing game, really. It is more of a guessing game. You're not really looking at the technicals and drawing out a real plan. Okay, yes, you can. I do believe that you can draw out levels and do some really nice analysis and come up with a really nice level that you can target. Okay, which, yeah, again, I do think that, but when people just say, "Oh, we're going to come up here and we're going to break out," okay, that for me is just a bit of a guess, right? You don't know we're going to do that, okay? We can say, "Oh, if price does this, then it can do that," okay? But I will never ever say that, "Oh, price is going to do this," right? Again, right? It's like what I was saying here. Price was in bullish structure, right? I was saying two things, right? And I know it's quite contradictory, right? And I see it a lot of the time on YouTube as well, where I've seen one of the comments as well, where they said, "Oh, you've predicted this and you've predicted this, so you're right both of the time." But again, for the example here, I said last week, if we remain in the bullish structure, we can look for all-time high. If we break the bullish structure, we can come down and form a new low, right? So I'm not saying, "Oh, we're gonna do this," okay, or "We're gonna do this." Okay, it's more along the lines of, "Oh, if we do this and continue to do this, this is most likely going to happen," or "If this happens instead, this is most likely going to play out." So it's yeah, one of those things that's like, yeah, I understand I'm saying two things, but it's more along the lines of, okay, if this continues to happen, or this happens, I'm looking for this, or if this happens instead, then I'm looking for this. Yeah, it might be a little bit confusing, maybe I explained it in a confusing way, but that's how it is. That's how I view my trades as well. Okay, that's how I view it myself. If this happens, I'm going to do this, or if that happens, I'm going to do that. Okay, it's very simple. Sure, it's been profitable for me to trade between the channel, spot, not futures. Yeah, that's always a very how shall I say it? A very good thing to do, trading with spot and not futures. It's yeah, I trade with futures because I understand that my risk management is in check. Okay, I know what I'm doing, but yeah, I don't advise. Of course, I don't advise anything, but I don't recommend trading with leverage. I would never ever recommend it to anyone because I know what happened to me when I first started out. And of course, I don't know how long any of you guys have been trading for, or however long you guys have been in the markets for. But this is just all off of personal opinion, right? Of course, I still use it till this day because I've learned how to use it. But yeah, being able to hold back and trade spot and not futures is very good. Go to Dubai or anywhere else in the world before April the 25. The government are going to raise CGT. Yeah, I mean, that's the plan, right? To move somewhere where there is no tax. Dubai is like on the top of the list for me, and that is of course my plan. But yeah, it's quite a big thing, I think, moving country because my life is here. I've got my friends here. I've got my girlfriend here as well. So it's a bit like if I'm moving to another country and for example, like my girlfriend has got her own career as well. So it's like, she she needs to be in London. So it's like if I'm living in another country, it's it's a bit hard. So it is something that I'm looking to do. I'm just kind of looking for the right time. But yeah. The government raising this CGT is of course not great whatsoever. So of course, anyone who doesn't know what CGT is, it's capital gains. So yeah, you of course pay that in most countries, I do believe. But then of course there are countries where you don't have to pay it, i.e. Dubai. So yeah. But yeah, I explained this in another video, in another live stream. I've actually got a lot of money, a lot more money in crypto than I would like to have at this moment in time, mainly because of tax reasons. So yeah, it's just kind of the safest place to hold my capital at this moment in time. And it's like, I do not want to take major profits and withdraw them into fiat until I am somewhere that is no tax. So yeah, that is my plan. Dubai, I think that's the top of the list, just because it's the easiest, right, for no tax. They want you there, whereas a lot of other places, they don't necessarily want you there. They will use you whilst you are there. Okay, but yeah, it's a lot harder in other places. I understand, like Monaco, it's a lot harder to get somewhere there, and yeah, Dubai is just one of the easiest places because they're trying to welcome you. They're welcoming you into the country. They're trying to get everybody into the country. So I think that is the best opportunity. You're only moving temporarily in terms of CGT. Once money put into fiat, you won't have to pay when you come back. Yeah, of course not. But yeah, for me, it would be more of a permanent thing if I was going to do it. You do realize trading in futures exposes you to CGT instantly. Yep, I do. And that's why I do not use KYC. That's exactly why I don't use KYC. So yeah, that's why unfortunately I'm not using Bybit. And that's this is another one of the big things as well. It's like I need to go somewhere where I can use Bybit, because Bybit is my preferred exchange. At the moment, I'm using Mexi. I like it. It's good. It's not my preferred exchange. Bybit is my preferred exchange. So again, it's just another reason why I want to. I don't want to. I understand that I can go there. I can withdraw into fiat, okay, and then I can move back, and I don't have to pay capital gains. I understand that, but it's something that I would be looking for a permanent move. Yeah, it would be a permanent move for me because I want to use Bybit, and they require KYC. But Mexi, Mexi, you don't have to use KYC. That's not protection. I know that. Yeah. I know. But you have to take risk, right? You do have to take risk, and it's something that I have. Of course, I don't hold much on Mexi, right? I don't hold a lot of capital on Mexi whatsoever. I do move it into cold storage. Any profits that I do have, I don't hold a lot on Mexi, so yeah, it's fine. But I do want to trade on Bybit, and that's why I need to go somewhere which you are allowed to use Bybit. But yeah, don't worry, I am protected. Don't worry, I am protected. I know that if the exchange goes down, it'll be a bummer, but it's not the end of the world for me. So I'm not too fussed. Yeah, I've learned my lesson. I've learned my lesson many times. At FTX, I had a very small amount of money on there, and I found out found out a few weeks ago I will be getting that back. But it's not something that I'm like. It's not something that I was too worried about, to be honest with you. But yeah, FTX, I held a very small amount on there. I didn't hold a lot of capital on there whatsoever. I've got the ledger, of course, use that. That's for me, that's of course my hodl portfolio, as crypto like to call it. Stick with spot, safer for CGT. Yeah, of course it is. But for me, everything I have at this moment in time is unrealized. The majority of my wealth is all unrealized at this moment in time. I don't see the need to realize it yet, because I'm looking for the long term, right? I'm kind of looking for the long term. I'm not really looking for the short term. So that is a plan of mine. That's a plan of mine. It was going to be a plan of mine for this year. It's looking like it's going to be more next year to get out to Dubai or something. And again, the Wi-Fi, the Wi-Fi is hopefully going to be a lot better out. Well, it is a lot better out there as well. because where I live at the moment, it's yeah, the Wi-Fi is terrible, and I hate London. Like, man, I hate it. Like, I hate UK cities, and I'm sorry if any of you live in London. I hate it. I was in London on the weekend, and oh, it's just dirty. It's just disgusting. I hate it. I hate London. I just couldn't live there. That's why I don't. Yeah, but like I understand. Like I don't mind cities. I honestly do not mind cities. I don't mind living in the city. It's just like the dirty aspect of it. I just don't like it. Whereas, places like Saudi Arabia, Dubai, it's big city, busy city, but it's clean. It's extremely clean. It's like Tokyo in Japan. In Japan, it's a very big and busy city, but it's also very clean. I would not mind that whatsoever. I would not mind that as I would not mind that whatsoever. Has it kicked off where you are? No, it has not, because I know what you're talking about, or I believe I know what you're talking about. And no, it hasn't. I live as far south as you can go, and I live in the middle of nowhere. I get hardly any cell reception, and the Wi-Fi is pretty terrible. So I'm in a very quiet part of the country. So yeah, no, it has not kicked off here. And again, it's kind of another reason why I quite like living out in the sticks. It's quiet, it's peaceful. You don't get any protesting, you don't get any rioting, you don't get any of that nonsense. It's not something that I like. It's not something I want to be a part of. So why put myself in a place that has all of that stuff? But yeah, like I said, I think Tokyo is spotless, but different culture. Yeah, they also have a homogeneous society. Yeah, I wouldn't. Have you been there? Have you experienced it? It's somewhere I'd love to go. I've never actually experienced it, to be honest. Like it's somewhere that I would love to go. I don't think I could live there. Like you said, it is all very similar there. But yeah, I'd just like to experience it, to be honest with you. And you could kind of say the same thing about Dubai as well. But yeah, I think, yeah, a mate of mine got married, went there 20 years ago. Oh, wow. Yeah, I bet it was a very different place back then, to be honest with you, 20 years ago. I think, it's probably a very different place, but probably, if it was similar back then, it's probably even more similar right now. So yeah, but yeah, it's somewhere I'd just love to visit. It's trains are exactly on time, doors open, and as stated on the timetable. Yeah, the trains. To be honest with you, in London, they weren't that bad. I hate the underground, and I went on the underground on the weekend. I kind of wish I just got an Uber, but then the people that I was with said, it'll take you like 3 times as long to get anywhere in an Uber than it will on the tube. So we took the tube, and I hated it. I absolutely hated it. But it was all on time. It was all on time, to be fair. Maybe not exactly on time, but it was pretty on point, to be honest. But it's just a very dirty, horrible place. And I've seen videos online of the Tokyo system. The timetable is meaningless. Yeah. Well, I was just looking at the boards at the top, and it said like the train is expected in like a minute or something, and it was pretty spot on with that. Um, but yeah, I mean, if there's another timetable, again, I don't live in London, so I don't really take acknowledgement to any of that. But yeah, still continuing to see a rise here. No major pump yet. I think I have cemented the idea of going to Dubai, though. I think that is the plan that I have. Lizzie line trains can't even give you the latest information, and I see DMAP to show you hotspots. Lizzie line, I'm guessing that's the Elizabeth line. I'm guessing that's the Elizabeth line that you're referring to. Yeah, what did I go on? I went to Shoreditch, so that was the district. So I went on the district line, and then whatever other line was after that, I can't remember. But yeah. So you can alter journey plans if you see delays. Tokyo had that 20 years ago. Yeah, I mean Tokyo is just like an extraordinary place. I've seen, like, it's just like they're so far beyond anybody. It's even like with the food as well. You can get like I don't know how fresh it is, but from what I saw, it was like fresh, hot, warm food from a vending machine. It was crazy. So yeah, they are just so much like further advanced than us. And it's even like their crosswalks as well, and also it's quite entertaining to see. But yeah, never been there. Shoreditch's overground station, unless you walked from Liverpool Street. No, yeah, it was the overground, but it does have some underground bits as well. I don't know. I don't know. I don't really live in London. But yeah, there were some underground parts, or we were just in a tunnel, so I just presumed it was underground. Japanese food is awesome. Can't compare to the muck we get in London. Yeah. Again, I've never like. I want to try. I want to go there. It's a goal of mine to go there and actually try the food. And I think, again, with what I do, it's very easy for me to go and do that. But well, yeah, it's easy for me to go and do that because I can do whatever. I can do what I do from wherever, right? But another big thing is like Australia. I'm planning to go to Australia at some point, and it's really difficult because the time zones. It's just completely out of whack from the UK markets and the American markets as well. It's just completely the wrong time zone out there, which is I'm planning to go out there at some point. I'm not sure when, but yeah, in the next couple months or something. I'm looking to go there for a fairly long period of time, not too long. But yeah, like I don't want to go there for just a week, but I want to go there, and yeah, I'm just a little bit worried about how it's going to all work with the time zone difference. That's the only issue I have with it. So like I'm trying to figure it out. Like, what time do I go to bed? What time do I get up? But if I do that, like I can't do this and I can't do that, because it's just It's confusing. Aussie taxes are bonkers. Yeah, again, it's like I'm not going out there to live there. I just want to visit the place, right? I just literally want to visit the place. So it would be a holiday for maybe a month, maybe two. That's literally what it would be. But I still want to work there, right? I still want to, of course, I can work from my computer. I can work from there. So it's like, as long as as long as I can still be able to be awake when I need to be awake, when the markets that or the time frames that I trade, okay, are able to if I'm able to do that, then it's then it's perfect. But yeah, the time zones are a little bit mucked up. Make sure you get life insurance just in case spiders, snakes, crocs, sharks kills you lot. Yeah, I will make sure to do that. Thank you. Yeah, I know it is a very, very deadly place. One of my friends is actually out there already. He's got a job out there, so that's kind of why he's gone out there. So yeah, I do want to go out there, go visit him, spend some time with him. But yeah, I'm trying to think. Is he? He says you see a lot of dead kangaroos on the side of the road, which is I think is quite sad. But yeah, it's like here in the UK, a deer can seriously hurt your car. I had a friend who hit a deer, and the whole front of their car was just completely totaled. And then in Australia, right? Kangaroos, I'm pretty sure, are bigger and heftier than a deer. So yeah, I can't imagine what they do to your cars. But yeah, spiders, snakes, crocs, sharks. Yeah, snakes are the ones that freak me out. I don't mind crocodiles. I went to America a couple of years ago, and yeah, I held a little alligator. I know it was only small, and we went through I went through the Florida Keys, and I saw all the alligators in the wild. So yeah, they don't really freak me out as much. I know they're very dangerous, but they don't really freak me out. It's more the snakes. They eat skimpy as burgers. They eat skimpy as burgers. That's funny. But yeah, I think it'll be a good time. I'm sure I won't. Well, fingers crossed I don't run into any deadly snakes, spiders. Hopefully no croc comes crawling up on me at night. Sharks. My friend does a lot of surfing out there. To be honest, I didn't know sharks were a big thing out there. Well, I guess, yeah, actually, no, I guess, yeah. I remember I watched a documentary about a surfer a few years ago, and he was Australian. And he lost his arm or something. He lost his arm or his leg, but from a shark. But yeah, my friend does a lot of surfing out there. I'm pretty sure he says he goes out there every morning and every evening before and after work, and surfs the waves, bro. But yeah, he loves it out there. I don't think he's come into contact with any sharks, but I guess maybe it's only in certain areas. It's winter out there for them now. It is winter out there for them now. So I don't know if I know that the sharks migrate because of the heat of the water, the heat of the sea. Who knows? So yeah, I think I will leave it there. To be honest, we've been live for over an hour now. I was hoping that we would see a little bit more of a pump. Okay, of course, we've talked about why I've entered into the trade. We've talked about looking for, right. We're looking at possible. We've looked at possible scenarios in the future as well, right. Possible lower high for another lower low. Right, these are all things that we need to take into consideration. Yeah, I will leave that there. I hope that wasn't your mate that went for a surf and lost his leg. No, thankfully it wasn't. He only went there. What's it now? 8 months ago. Yeah, eight months ago now. So yeah, no, he didn't. Thankfully, and fingers crossed he doesn't. I'm sure he won't. I'm sure he'll be fine. But yeah, I will leave that there. Thank you ever so much, everybody, for joining. It's good to see familiar faces back. Mr. FFS, what a nightmare. Still love the name. Island Time. Good to see you back, my friend, as well. Sorry, I did not see your comment up there. But yeah, thank you very much for putting all of your input into the chat as well, and putting your opinions in there as well. And of course, yeah, some nice conversational stuff as well. So yeah, thank you very much, everybody, for that. So yeah, please make sure you smash that thumbs up before we do go. And yeah, any new members, please do subscribe and turn that bell notification on. And of course, for any visionary members, I will see you in the Discord. Of course, if you want access to the Discord, it's the first link, or the free Discord is the second link in the description. So yeah, I will leave that there. Have a lovely rest of your day, guys, and I will see you tomorrow for the next live stream. Take care, guys, and goodbye.
Take me home, 'cause I wanna feel like I belong. They relate to all this pain in my past, so they listen to my song. So let's go back to where it began and where it all started from. Take this chance, one last dance, 'cause I've been waiting way too long. Take my hand, I wanna show you something. Promise I've been dying to see ya. They say the grass ain't always greener. I guess what they're saying is true. In my dreams, that's where I seen her. Take my heart and take all of me, girl. Let me show you what I wanna do. I wanna spend the rest of my life with you. Are you listening, darling? Look where we started. Breaking in half, left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here? Are you listening?